What's going on, guys? Parker here, and I am back with another video. And today I got my top 5 NBA and NFL prize picks player props for the day. And before we get into this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel down below, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up, as it really helps the channel out a ton and helps push my content out to more and more people. So each time you like this video, each time you subscribe, doing anything interacting with the video, interacting with any of my content, really helps the channel out a ton and helps push my content out to more and more people. So I really would appreciate it, guys. And then also, we have a 4-game NBA slate today, a 2-game NFL slate today. Lots of college basketball and college football. If you're interested in that, I am, but not what the channel's about. But we have a big slate, not a big slate, sorry, a small slate today, but we're still going to cash out. And I didn't even talk about the fact, guys, we are on a 14-4 run with our player props. We have been absolutely cashing as of late. I know you guys have been loving that. So for that alone, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below and give this video a big thumbs up, because we've been cashing out. And if you want to cash out with us, then you don't want to miss out this content. But before we get into today's plays, I want to talk a little bit about the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. So the DGF Optimizer is a tool that will give you the best mathematical odds to hit your bet every single day. So the DGF Optimizer, there really is nothing like it on the market, and it is just so clutch in terms of sports betting. As you can see here, top play on the board right now, Jason Tatum and Miles Turner under 16.5 rebounds. It has a 55.69% chance to hit. It's minus 140, minus 130 all across the books, so it's a high chance that's going under, because when the books what the optimizer does pretty much, is for the books, when the books are giving you a minus 130, minus 140 chance, it's likely going to get bumped down. So likely this line will get bumped down to 16. So when it's having that, it's telling you to take the under right now, because PrizePicks will likely bump it soon. So you're going to secure value before bumps, and it really is a great tool that's going to make you profitable long term, guys. As you can see for this Giannis one too, under 6.5 assists, minus 150, minus 154, minus 165. Like, sports books are telling you this is definitely going under. This will 100% be bumped before these games start, and likely in the next few minutes. Likely it'll be bumped down to 6 assists. So that's why it's telling you to take the under now before it gets bumped down to 6. So pretty much, Optimizer is going to help you secure the best value every single day on PrizePicks or whatever sports betting site you use, DFS site, because as you can see, it's got Underdog. There's a parlay play optimizer, Better, Boom Fantasy, Dabble, Flip, Hot Streak, Jock MT. I don't play on all these. The only ones I really play on are Sleeper and Parlay Play. Obviously, I've played on Underdog before, but I don't really play on Underdog just because, I don't know. I feel like Underdog and PrizePicks are pretty much the same, and I just like PrizePicks better. But, Parlay Play and Sleeper offer other stuff. But, yeah, guys, we got a big slate today. Or not a big slate. We got some good value on the board today. As you can see, this CJ Stroud pass attempts is the number one play now. 34.5 on the books. PrizePicks got it at 33.5. We could snipe that right now. But without further ado, let's get right into today's plays. So first off, I got Jason Tatum over 36.5 points plus rebounds versus the Pacers. He's over this line in 6 straight versus the Pacers. The Pacers allow the most points per game in the NBA to power forwards. Pacers allow the 8th most rebounds per game in the NBA to power forwards. He's had 12 or more rebounds in 3 of his last 4 games versus the Pacers. Tatum has absolutely owned the Pacers as of late. He has absolutely dominated them in every aspect. This should be another game today where he dominates them once again. Tatum, one of the best players in the NBA, obviously. We got a great matchup today versus this Pacers team, who is definitely, I had to pause for a second. Definitely the worst good team, defensive team in the NBA, if that makes sense. For teams that are actually good, playoff teams, by far the worst defense. So this game will likely be close because that team can score with anybody. But Tatum likely goes the hell off today. He goes off every time versus the Pacers. Another great matchup here. We know from Giannis, from lots of guys, how bad the Pacers are versus the power forward position. Tatum's technically a power forward. He's going to own the Pacers tonight. He's going to ball out. So Jason Tatum, over 36.5 points plus rebounds versus the Pacers, is my first play of the day. Need a little Celsius sip. Jalen Brunson, over 34.5 points plus assists versus the Wizards. He's had 13 or more assists in 2 of his last 3 games. Wizards allow the 5th most points per game in the NBA to point guards over the last month. Wizards allow the most assists per game in the NBA to point guards over the last month. Overall, elite matchup for Brunson, facing off against a Wizards team that is just horrible defensively overall. Likely a game where Julius Randle gets busy too, so likely a game where Brunson's going to have a lot of assist opportunity to Randle, to OG and Anunoby, stuff like that. Overall, just very confident, very, very confident in this line. I think Brunson should definitely be able to play well enough to cover this line today, not facing off against a very good defense at all. Like I said, the worst defense in the NBA. Brunson, one of the best point guards in the NBA. Point guards have torched this Wizards team all year long, and I think it continues tonight. I'm really confident in this here. So Jalen Brunson, over 34.5 points plus assists versus the Wizards is my second play of the day. Also to mention, forgot to say, without RJ Barrett, Brunson has the ball in his hands a lot more than he used to. So he's just going to continue to get the ball in his hands more and more now that RJ Barrett's gone. But yeah, let's move on to our next play. Next up, Damian Lillard, over 25.5 points versus the Rockets. 39 points in first matchup versus the Rockets this season. Rockets are middle of the pack defensively to point guards. Decent matchup for Dame. It's not like they're like horrible versus the point guard position or anything like that. And, it's just an elite matchup, but they're decent versus the point guard position. And they're an elite defense overall, but they're definitely they're the least elite versus the point guard position. Rockets' game plan was to shut down Giannis last time they played. Likely will target Giannis defensively too in this matchup. Likely will lead to more Damian Lillard open looks. Really like this line. Dame, one of the best point guards in the NBA, one of the best scorers in the NBA. He went for 39 the first time against them. Not going to overthink this. Really like this. So Damian Lillard, over 25.5 points versus the Rockets is my third play of the day. Next up for my fourth play, I got CJ Stroud, over 261.5 pass yards versus the Colts. Over an 8 of 14 games this season, 384 pass yards in his first matchup versus the Colts this season. Colts are not great defensively. Great matchup for Stroud. Colts allow the 11th most yards per attempt in the NFL this season. Obviously, they're not a very good defense. The Colts aren't. Stroud got absolutely busy in his first matchup versus the Colts. I think he's going to do it again. The Texans are a much better team than they were in that first matchup, too. I think also this game is going to be close throughout, so I don't think there's ever going to be a point where, CJ Stroud's not looking to throw the ball and be aggressive. I don't think that's going to happen. I see this game being extremely close throughout. Very confident in that. So CJ Stroud, over 261.5 pass yards versus the Colts is my first NFL play and my fourth play of the day. Next up for my fifth and final play, I got another pass yards, which usually isn't, the go-to, but I really like the pass yards in today's matchups. I got Mason Rudolph, over 188.5 pass yards versus the Ravens. Over in 2 straight in his 2 starts for the season with 270 plus in each game. Playoff hopes on the line tonight. Steelers will be aggressive throughout the game. I think there's no shot that they, get conservative in this game. 224 yards from Pickett in first matchup versus Ravens. Offense has been doing better with Mason Rudolph. Line is simply too low. I know they haven't faced 2 elite pass defenses. However, the Ravens are going to be playing backups today. I think Rudolph should just be able to get to 200 yards at least. So I think this line is way too low. Probably would play it up to like 205.5, honestly. Like, I would still play it up to that. This is probably my favorite Fanduel alternate line play of the day. I'm most definitely playing this like Mason Rudolph, 225 plus yards. Definitely going to make that an alt line because plus value there, probably like plus 200 odds. Love that. Love this line on PrizePicks. This line's just simply too low. So Mason Rudolph, over 188.5 pass yards versus the Ravens is my fifth and final play and my second NFL play of the day. So those were my top 5 NBA and NFL PrizePicks player props for the day. If you enjoyed this video and you do want to see more from me, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below and give this video a big thumbs up because each time you support me by liking a video, subscribe to the channel down below. It just helps me out a ton, helps push my content out to more and more people each day, and I really would appreciate it. And yeah, guys, we're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Don't want to miss out. But without further ado, sorry for Daily Grind Fantasy. with the top link in the description to my link tree. And then Daily Grind Fantasy is the top link in my link tree. Use code FIELDSFOCUS for 25% off your first month. And I'll see you on the next one.